Hello, everyone. Welcome to Christopher's Entertainment Blog. I am your host, Chris. Welcome to another video for Arrow Season 4. This is Episode 2, and it is entitled The Candidate. So, I really enjoyed this episode as opposed to last week's episode, which I thought was okay. But I actually enjoyed this one more than last week. I thought it was a little bit more fast paced, and I think it was a little bit better shot. And the choreography, the fight choreography in last week's episode, I thought was terrible. I thought it was really bad. Thea, Laurel was very bad. I did not like them in that episode at all. Uh, but in this one, they seemed better. Thea seemed like the fight choreography was a lot better for Thea. Laurel was good, even though I still think they're ridiculous. But there wasn't a lot of Laurel in this episode. She was just hanging around, and there wasn't much of her doing much. So maybe that's why I enjoyed it more. But I thought stuff that Thea did was a lot better, and I like the path they're going down now, where it's like they're finally touching on the Lazarus Pit stuff. That she's a little bit not right. She's a little bit crazy. She wants to kill these dudes, and she lights the one guy, Anarchy. She lights him on fire. So Oliver's having some trouble with her, and they're finally touching on that. That stuff that come out of the Lazarus Pit is not good. It's not good. There's something wrong there. So I like that. The whole the villain of the week. I liked the. I thought the villain of the week was. I liked him. I thought he was good. Anarchy, interesting character. And you can see he's going to come back. He's not dead or gone. I mean, he's out there somewhere, so that's cool. He was really freaky, so yeah. And I love the fact that they brought in Jerry Ryan as a big, also a big Star Trek fan. Seeing Jerry Ryan, I was just like, wow, she's still great, just great. I love Jerry Ryan, such a great actress, and I really hope they don't like she's so great that just to bring her in this for this one episode, have her tease being mayor, and then she's gone. I really hope not. I really hope they bring her back more because she's so great and she brings a lot to the show. I think she could bring a lot, and but yeah, it was great seeing her there. I really hope they can do more with her because she's such a great actress. But the whole Diggle, I like Diggle again in this episode. I mean, I always like Diggle. The helmet, I actually think the helmet looked a lot better in this episode because we're because the helmet is still just ridiculous. But it actually looked better because the visor was down and it was like all black. It kind of reminded me of like I said last week, like Magneto. But this week it seemed like it was crossed with Judge Dredd. I mean, it looked like Judge Dredd helmet. I was like, oh well, that actually looks a lot better because when it's open, it just looks ridiculous. But when he had it all closed, it was black. He had a black visor. I thought, oh, that looks pretty badass, actually. So maybe it might, you might warm up to it, as the episode or as the season goes on. You'll probably warm up to the fact that he's got this helmet now. Even though they haven't really explained like why he has the helmet, even though he should have something to protect his face or whatever. But they don't really touch on it after all these seasons. Finally, he's got a helmet. Like why, So I really hope that they touch on that at some point. But I think it looked a lot better. And the whole thing, Felicity. I like Felicity in this episode. I thought it was a lot better. It wasn't so much lovey-dovey stuff going on. I think the Bog. I didn't like the whole suburban thing, and I didn't like that. That was last episode. This episode, they kept away from that a little bit more, and they got down to what they should be doing, and I really like the fact that she's taken over Palmer Technologies. She's a little bit out of her element, but I thought it was cool. And they're bringing in Mr. Terrific from the comics. I don't know a lot about him, so please write in about Mr. Terrific or whatever. Please let me know. But I think that he is going to be. He's kind of like the Lucius Fox, maybe, of what they're going to do here. Because Lucius Fox and Gotham, created all this stuff for Batman, and it's kind of like brilliant man. I think that's what we're going to do with Mr. Terrific, maybe. I think maybe he's going to be the key to bring back Ray Palmer, because I think Ray Palmer is obviously alive, and I think he's in the building. I would not doubt it. I mean, I've thought about that since last season, like when the thing blew up. I was like, well, he's not dead, and we know he's going to be on that new show coming up, Legends of Tomorrow. So they're going to have to find him because that show's coming up, in a few months. So I think he's going to be the key to find Ray Palmer. I think he's like in there. He's like microscopic. He's like, running around, and he's still somewhere dodging people and trying to figure out what he can do to come back. So there's going to be something goes on there. I think Mr. Terrific has got something to do with these spheres or something. I mean, I really don't know anything about them, just from what I heard from a lot more intelligent people with the comic books than I am. But he's got something to do with these spheres, and I think this great invention that they're teasing, that Felicity says, well, I think you already know about this great invention or something that's going to help the company, get out of debt or whatever. And I think it's going to be that there where he creates this sphere or whatever, and it's going to bring Ray Palmer back. It's going to make him normal size again. So, and they're going to be shocked, like, whoa, So that's my theory about it. I could be totally wrong, but he's got to come back somehow. So I think he still might be the key, but we will have to see. But it was really cool seeing him and that introduction for him. That was cool. The whole Lazarus Pit thing, like I said, touching for Thea, the whole Lazarus Pit thing. It looks like the Laurel is finally. She found out about the Lazarus Pit. I was like, didn't she already know about the Lazarus Pit? And then I had to think about it. Well, maybe she didn't. It seemed like she did because they were at Nanda Parbat quite a bit towards the end. I mean, they were all stuck there and whatever. And for a minute I thought, well, maybe she was there when he dropped Thea in the pit. But then I was like, maybe she wasn't. So it's been a while, so I forget. But I don't think she was. After I thought about it, I was like, she probably not. So it was kind of weird. I was like, well, didn't she already know? But then I was like, no, maybe she doesn't. But so she finds out about the Lazarus Pit, and now she's got this crazy idea. We're gonna bring back Sarah. we're gonna bring back Sarah, and she digs into the coffin. I was like, okay, she digs into the coffin. I thought when she was gonna open it, I thought Sarah was gonna be gone. I was like, oh, she's not even in there. But then they show it. They show the corpse. I was like, wow, that's kind of gruesome. That was kind of frightening looking Sarah there. It was just weird. And I was surprised. It was, for TV like that. Very gruesome stuff. So, and it freaked me out a little bit. It was, wow, that was creepy. But it is October, so they're digging into a little bit of the Halloween stuff probably. But I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, wow, that's something different. But it's going to be interesting to see how they do this with Sarah, because she's coming back. Legends of Tomorrow, we've seen her in the trailers for Legends of Tomorrow. She's coming back, and I think they're going to do it quick. I think the next episode's called Restoration is what it's called. So that sounds like something to me, like Lazarus Pit type thing going on there. So it looks like we're going to see John Barrowman back again, because they're going back to the island. They're going to have to get Merlin's permission. I mean, he's the new Roz. They're going to have to get his permission, so we're going to see him. So that should be cool. And it should be interesting to see once Sarah is dropped in the pit, once she comes back to life. Because I think the way the Lazarus Pit worked is like if the longer you've been dead and then you get dropped in the pit, the crazier you're going to be. So we see how crazy Thea is becoming. She wasn't dead that long. I mean, Sarah's been dead, wow, for like a year or quite a few months. So it could be that where she's a little, like really like insane, like psycho. And it should be interesting to see how they play on that eventually. And we know they're going to bring in Constantine. I've seen the trailer. I've seen clips or pictures of Constantine going to be in there. And Matt Ryan. I think his name's Matt Ryan. Could be wrong, but I think it is Matt Ryan. who was on Constantine, who plays I like him as Constantine. It was just the show that he was on just didn't work. It was just bad writing, bad script, everything. But I like him as Constantine. So I can't wait to actually see what they do with him. I'm really excited to see that episode with him in it. I think he's got something to do with Sarah. Maybe he's going to help her. Maybe she goes crazy. Maybe he comes in to exorcise the demons or something. I don't know. But it should be interesting. I can't wait to see that for in the coming episodes. But and the whole thing for Oliver, finally he's going to run for mayor. And I think that's in the comics as well, him running for mayor. So yeah, it's logical. You know, everyone else is getting killed, getting scared. He can defend himself. Yeah, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see that. And I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. So we got Oliver running for mayor. I mean, hey, why not? There wasn't too many negatives for me in this episode. It was a lot better than last week's. I really enjoyed the flashbacks. The flashbacks as well. I'm enjoying the flashbacks. Unlike last season where I thought they drugged down a little bit. They were a little slow. Very kind of uninteresting. This season, they're going back to the island. Back to where it was the best flashbacks was in season 1 and 2 and whatever. And they're going back to the island. And it makes sense. And already it's more interesting than it was last season. Because, you know, what's Oliver doing? What's he going to do on this island? And we see he's like infiltrated this, you know, whatever this military unit is on the island. I think I don't know if they're making their drugs or something. And he's got a new haircut. So he shaved off all that hair. And, hey, it should be interesting to see where they go with that. I mean, I'm fascinated by the flashbacks. They're really short, though. I mean, they're just like 50 seconds long, and you know you're out. They're out and they're back into the current world. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying the flashbacks. I enjoyed this episode. I really liked it a lot, and it was great seeing Jeri Ryan. It was great seeing her, and I just wish they could do something more with her. You know, for the rest of the season, it was a great introduction to her. But in Anarchy, I like I said, I enjoyed Anarchy as well. I thought he was a cool character. We'll see if, you know, he'll come back and, you know, do some more crazy stuff, I'm sure. But yeah, guys, I think I hit on everything. Oh, Damien Darhk. Again, Damien Darhk, the actor who plays Damien Darhk. I keep forgetting his name. But he was excellent. Again, he's very creepy, very scary. He's a great actor. And he was great. I love him as Damien Darhk. But yeah, guys, I think that's about it for me for this episode. If there's anything I might have missed that if you want to talk about or touch on that I may have missed, please write in the comments below. Also, please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. But that will do it for me for this week. Again, for Arrow, I am Chris for Christopher's Entertainment Blog. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.